Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
We made it to Friday. How about that? Good morning to all of you. 9:05 is the time on this 15th day of November. It's not You're Beautiful. It's our daily show, but they had a great show yesterday on You're Beautiful with Brian Trust. Every Thursday from 2 to 3 o'clock. Make sure you tune in and be a part of all those great conversations. We have a great show for all of you. Going to be talking to Tom Emery and going to be talking to Craig Lombardi, candidate for Godfrey Mayor at 10:10. Then we're going to be talking at 10:30, 5-ish to Challenge Unlimited and calling it a good old week. Then after that, I'm wrapping up. And I got to go home for a roof estimate, you know. Hey, before we go into news, we had a really great showing of the press conference yesterday at the Alton Wedge Innovation Center. But, you know, before I start, yesterday was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. You have the governor of a state, regardless of whatever governor it is, coming down to talk about a project. And, you know, 5 years ago, regional news journalists were really good and really informed about projects. But it was just kind of disconcerting to me when, you know, these television stations come here to talk to the governor, who's here to talk about the wedge and is getting questions about the president-elect of the United States. You know what I'm saying? It was just put a bad taste in my mouth for the regional side of things for local news TV. They got to do a better job, you know, and that's why I just wanted to kind of bring that up because I felt like, you know, we're here to talk about the wedge, and you get these folks that want to be famous and want to be on, you know, the big four news stations so bad they are trying to go for a soundbite. So I hope the questions that RiverBender.com asked were at least able to, you know, get us back on track. But it was just really just kind of a bummer for me to know that, you know, there were some folks that from really nice publications that honestly I think if they had the option to do it over again, I think they would. 9:07, here's what's happening around the River Bend. We'll take you to St. Louis first. A 39-year-old St. Louis man, Anthony Milton, is facing 7 felony charges after police discovered illegal weapons and drugs in his hotel room following a domestic battery incident on November the 6th. Witnesses reported Milton violently attacked a victim at the La Quinta Inn, resulting in a severe head laceration. Authorities found a modified Glock 19 handgun, a second firearm, and a significant amount of cannabis in his possession. Milton, who has a lengthy criminal history, is currently in custody as the Collinsville Police Department pursues the case against him. Charges are based upon probable cause, and he is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Community leaders gathered at the Wedge Center. We just opened the show with this to discuss its development and future plans. During a press conference yesterday, Governor Pritzker expressed his enthusiasm for the innovation space, highlighting its potential to stimulate economic growth in Alton. The Wedge, a project by Alton Works, will host anchor tenants, co-working spaces, and several Midwest AI network labs benefiting both startups and established businesses. Pritzker emphasized the importance of collaboration with SIUE. The Wedge set to open in a couple of months, February 2025, marking a significant step in the downtown revitalization. Also in the news today, the renovated Susnig Center in Jerseyville is gearing up for a grand reopening event slated for Saturday, December the 14th. Park and Recreation Director Tyler Hermans announced plans for a dedication ceremony during a recent city council meeting. The center, which houses the Jerseyville Parks and Recreation Department and the Illinois Valley Senior Center, underwent extensive renovations last year. New gym flooring, roofing, ADA-compliant bleachers, and restroom facilities funded by a $450,000 grant from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. Additionally, the Illinois Valley Economic Development Corporation plans to expand into new programming and facilities nearby. Challenge Unlimited recently celebrated the completion of a new 1,100 square foot accessible addition at their Residential Options Community Mental Health Home in Edwardsville. The expansion was funded by a $250,000 state grant and includes a private medical room, accessible bathroom, 2 new bedrooms, and a new dining area, enhancing the life and living experience for its 8 residents. Community leaders highlighted the importance of the project in promoting inclusivity and integration within the community. Residents expressed their excitement, with one stating, quote, "It's a great place. I think I will stay here forever." How cool. The initiative aligns with Challenge Unlimited's mission to support the individuals in the area with disabilities. We'll learn more about this ribbon cutting in about an hour's time, right here on our daily show with Stephanie Schrage. Glen Carbon residents will see an increase in their water bills over the next 2 years as the village board unanimously approved a series of rate hikes set to begin January 1st. The board approved changes including a 10% increase in both service and usage charges. Currently, the monthly water service charge of $6.50 will rise to $7.15 in 2025 and $7.87 in 2026. Additionally, the usage fee of the first 1,000 gallons will increase from $6.12 to $6.73 next year and $7.41 in 2026. The village also planning for a water treatment plant, which may further impact rates. 15 local agencies came together on November the 12th and 13th to shop at Target, using funds from the Community Christmas program aimed at assisting families in need during this holiday season. I always love this event. The initiative, backed by community-raised contributions, showcases the power of collective efforts to provide essential items, including toys and personal hygiene products. Liz Campbell, the chair of Community Christmas, expressed her gratitude for the community involvement, emphasizing the heartwarming side of agencies shopping for vital needs. And as the holiday season approaches, the program encourages donations and plans a cookies and cocoa event on the 5th of December, inviting the public to come out and support. Liz Campbell and the entire Community Christmas team doing a fantastic job, and they'll join us next week. During the fall 2024 firearm season, Illinois turkey harvesters were able to get 292 wild turkeys. Now, this reflects in a 10% increase from the previous year. Now, notably in Madison County, they reported 9 turkeys, while Calhoun and Macoupin counties each had 6. The largest harvests were recorded in Jefferson County with 17 birds, despite a slight decrease in the number of permits sold. 56 of Illinois' 102 counties participated in the fall hunting season. Preliminary data indicates a gender breakdown, which I find very fascinating, of 57% female and 53% male turkeys that were harvested. Very interesting. Always like to see those stats. Finally, in the news at 9:13, Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain recently met with representatives from Metro East Every Survivor Counts to discuss their critical services for survivors of violence. Hain highlighted the importance of community donations and volunteer efforts in sustaining these organizations. He noted that groups like the Metro East Every Survivor Counts complement the work of the state's attorney's office and provide essential resources for victims of sexual violence. The meeting focused on expanding community engagement to enhance support of survivors. Hain expressed gratitude for the community's ongoing efforts to assist those affected by crime, stressing the collective fight for justice. And that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Man, the fog this morning was crazy driving down Christian Hill. Goodness gracious. Hey, let's take a look at weather. 45 degrees at 9:14, and it feels like 50. Today, dense fog this morning. I'm sure you guys already encountered that. If you haven't left your house yet, I'd be a little bit leery. I mean, it was pretty tough driving down Christian Hill today. It was hard to see. Could be a passing shower this morning and sunshine and a few clouds the rest of the day and tonight. One word for you, and that's clear. Okay, now it's all starting to make sense now that we're looking at air quality, because my head is just on fire today. Air quality is at 54, which is moderate overall. Grass levels are low, ragweed's low, tree levels are low, but mold is high at 17,946. That is the highest it's been in a long time in the area. They're calling for a 55% chance of rain the rest of this morning, a high of 56, a low of 41. On Saturday, a high of 61 degrees, a low of 47 degrees. And on Sunday, a high of 67, a low of 56 degrees. And on Monday and Tuesday, more rain. I am so over rain. On Monday, an 85% chance of rain, a high of 67, a low of 55 degrees. And on Tuesday, a high of 66, a low of 44 degrees with a 65% chance of rain yet again. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 45 degrees at 9:15, feels like 50 for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545, this time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather. Hey, before I take a quick break, let me fill you in on Hainer Library. They're the best. You know, Hainer Library is getting ready for a really big event. If I can find it. Hainer Library is getting ready for a very big event. Now we can pull this up on the screen here. As you guys can see right there, the local author book fair is on Saturday, December the 7th, coming down the pipeline in just a few short weeks from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Hainer Library's location inside Alton Square Mall. There's going to be 30 local authors, lots of genres to pick from too, and this is the perfect opportunity really for those Christmas gifts. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes like grandma, grandpas in our lives are so hard to buy for. Why don't you stop by the local author book fair and see if you can find a good novel, a good piece of fiction that they'd love to dive into, or maybe even something with more of a local historical tie as well. Library card registration will be available then as well, plus the showcase of the Library of Things. You know, the thing that I literally will not stop talking about? That's available too. Plus children's crafts. It's free, it's fun, it's for the whole family. For more information, HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. And don't forget to tell them that CJ's the reason you're stopping by the local book fair, so they know who sent you over their way. Why don't we do this? We're going to be talking to Tom Emery. But first, downtown Alton, a more daily show afterwards.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
no matter the season. Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods. Paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not. I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Oh, 9:21. Welcome back. A little bit of change on this Friday morning. Tom Emery, it's been a while. How are we doing, sir?
How you doing, CJ? Good to be back.
Well, and good to have you back. I am really excited to talk about this and really celebrating the state of Illinois' historic women from so many different occupations. Tom, this has got to be exciting for you.
It really is. This is a book that's actually second edition for me. I've done a smaller version in 2018, and it was really one of the most interesting and rewarding projects I'd ever done. It ended up being one of my hottest speaking programs. I got an awful lot of bookings for speaking around the state on that particular book. And I wanted to expand on it, so I've actually doubled the size of the book. And that brought us here today, where I profile 50 of the top women in Illinois history in a variety of occupations, everything from athletes to library leaders to actresses, politicians, writers. My reviewers have told me I've got a really, really good cross-section on this, and it's just been a really ton of fun for me.
Well, and I think it's one of these pieces, too, just from my takeaway of reading a little bit on this, is, really there's always those women that we grew up with learning about in maybe our history books in middle school and high school, like Jane Addams, but to really dive a little bit deeper like you have and going through all of the different notable women, it's just incredible, and I think it really does bring a unique spotlight to something that is sometimes overlooked, not intentionally, but just because we get consumed in our day-to-day living in Illinois.
That's a good point you make, CJ. One of the reasons I wanted to do a book like this when I first conceived it several years ago was that there aren't that many really high-quality books on Illinois women's history. A few things have been done, but not as much as you think. And you made such a good point saying that we all remember Jane Addams from our high school history textbooks. But there are a lot of stories that never get told, and part of that's obviously sexism through the years, and which sits today, and no one denies that. But there's so many great stories. One of my favorites is Alton May Hewlett. She was the first licensed lawyer from the state of Illinois. She earned her law degree at the age of 19.
Wow.
Yeah. And at the age of 16, she'd actually written the first sex discrimination law in the nation.
Wow.
Now, What makes Alta so sad is she died at the age of 23.
Wow. Well,
And one of my most favorite characters I've ever written about.
Well, and honestly, Tom, I mean, you say it, when you're discussing that too, and you're mentioning that, I think that's such an interesting point to make too. Is that some of these women, without books like this, might not ever have their story retold. I mean, it might be in a subchapter in the Library of Congress, but to really have this to where it can inspire younger women too, and individuals alike, it's not really a gender thing. I mean, there's so many stories here, Tom, just from reading the few names that I kind of went through during this prep work that fought adversity, mountains, and made them into these prosperous fields of gold. That's a success story that we all need to hear too.
Absolutely, because in my view, they're role models for men and women alike, without question. And I think a lot of people don't realize the level of condescension, oppression, criticism they endured is really hard to comprehend. There's no question that women struggle with a lot of things today, but the world was a much more infinitely male-dominant place 100, 150 years ago. These women were really the groundbreakers in their professions, in their fields. They endured remarkable criticism, not only from men, but from other women as well. They had so many mountains to overcome, and I think that's what makes them inspiring.
Who was, as you were putting the second or this continuation together, was there an opportunity for you to, whenever you decided, hey, I'm going to do this, I don't want to say opportunity, was it surprising to you the amount of additional information, additional people that you could put in this book? Was that surprising at all for you, or was that one of those things that you knew was going to be a very quick thing to fill?
Well, I kind of had an idea for it, TJ, because I've written so many articles on women's history in the past. I've written dozens and dozens of them. So when I came up with the idea, I arbitrarily assigned number 50. I knew I could fill that one pretty well. I actually ended up writing 2 articles, especially for this book. Most of them are articles I've done for newspapers or other projects. One of the articles I did that especially for this book was on Bessie Coleman, the first black female who ever earned a pilot's license.
Wow!
And she was from the Chicago area, and she just inspired whites and blacks alike. She had a very short lifespan. She was only in the air for a few years before she was killed in a training accident in 1926.
Well, and whenever I hear about this too, Tom, it's amazing to hear the word first so many times for these Illinois women.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that to me is something because, I hear first, and we hear first so many times now with news and things. It's like, oh, okay, but when you're saying first, I mean, it just shows you, I mean, the Rolodex of really notable feats and figures that are here.
It really does, and I think it's just for what they overcame because they had so much to deal with. They didn't have role models.
Right.
No one else was out there doing this before they were. And the gumption, the drive, the motivation, their focus. And I'll tell you something else, CJ. So many of these women were multi-talented. Ellen Hardin Woolworth was from Jacksonville, who co-founded the Daughters of the American Revolution. She was not only that, she was also a historic preservationist, a historic writer, historian, practicing scientist, and she was actually licensed to practice law. What'd you do this morning? I mean, think about it. It's really something the energy these women had was unbelievable.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you too. As you're right, as you were putting this together, right now my generation has a motivation issue. Not all the time, but some of us do when it comes to maybe barriers that are there, and not saying they're anywhere close to the same barriers, but just an obstacle. We don't need to name what the obstacle is and say obstacle 1. But when I'm reading about this, and I'm learning about these multifaceted women, it's amazing to me the determination and not just that, but I think more importantly, the grit that these women had to have to really achieve what they were doing.
Absolutely. Frances Willard, who was the face of the temperance movement, the anti-alcohol movement around the turn of the century, she died in 1898. Think about this, CJ. In a time when travel, period, was by horse, buggy, and train, she was traveling 30,000 miles a year, and at one point averaged 400 speaking engagements every year.
Wow.
Now, I've done 260 speaking engagements over the last 13 years. People tell me how much I speak.
And that's not even
400 a year.
Right. That's not even half of her year.
Yeah, isn't that remarkable?
Well,
she had a funny slogan was "Do everything." Did she ever?
So I have a couple of more people to ask you about here, and one of them I don't know too much about, but was starting to research it after I read your email, was Ruth Rhodey. Did I get this correct?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And now fill me in. She was America's first major female diplomat in what realm?
She was in Denmark. She was minister to Denmark, which is now an obsolete position. But Ruth Bryan Rhodey, for your listeners, went to Monticello College, taught there at one point as well. She was the daughter of William Jennings Bryan, which may be another name from your history textbooks. William Jennings Bryan was kind of a liberal icon of the turn of the century, three-time presidential nominee, and also was one of the prosecutor in the famed Scopes monkey trial.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Ruth, among other things, ended up being the first congresswoman from the Deep South because she served in the U.S. House in Florida, then served as U.S. Minister to Denmark from 1933 to 1936. And like I say, she became the first female major American diplomat.
That's just incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. And another woman I was reading about in this email too, which I find just fascinating for our Alton tie-in, just for where we're at here station-wise, is Matilda Edwards. Can you fill me in?
Absolutely. Matilda Edwards grew up in Edwardsville and Upper Alton. She was the daughter of a prominent state senator. Among Lincoln scholars, there is debate whether Lincoln may have had an attraction or an infatuation with Matilda. She was the belle of every ball. She ended up moving to Springfield, in with the Todd family, who Lincoln married into. Mary Todd was his wife. Now, CJ, this is something I think is remarkable when I talk about this. Every guy wanted Matilda. I guess she was really something to look at, bright, intelligent, very conversational. She reportedly received 22 marriage proposals.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the reaction most people have. When I mentioned her in my lectures, 22, yeah.
Well, Tom, can I say...
She married a lawyer from Alton, moved to Pennsylvania, and she died at the age of 29.
Well, you know what? At least a lot of those guys don't have to feel bad when she said no. The turn down rate was pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys out there fighting the same battle. They were losing it.
I love this, Tom. Tom, getting back to whenever you're writing these books, I'm sure it's a good reflectionary piece for a point, too, in a way where, I'm sure you know of these individuals, but to really kind of peel back a different curtain while you're maybe gaining new perspectives has got to be really rewarding for you as well.
It is, and the strongest person in my life was a woman, my mother, Janice Emery. She nurtured my love of history, and I just owe everything to her. So I've had some inspiration based on that. But one of the fun things with history, and why people say history is boring, I have no idea. I don't know why anyone would say that. One of the reasons I do this, I love breaking new ground. I love telling stories that have never been told. These women, a lot of these stories have been scattered, pushed aside, passed aside. It's fun to bring these things to light because when I'm doing my lectures, when people email me or write me, tell me they never heard of this stuff, how much they enjoyed reading it. Well, that's great. That's one of the reasons I do this, and I've had a lot of people tell me I do that, and that really means something to me. Well.
And Tom, what I think so important too is it's really cool to see the amount of individuals in this book, and just the some that we've already kind of mentioned, but the term innovator and groundbreaker can be a common theme throughout this piece, and I think it brings a new perspective to maybe folks that have a different perception of achievements, maybe from early 1900s, the late 1800s, and how people really did get to that brass ring. And I think that's so important, especially right now in this kind of fake society we're living in terms of social media, to take a step back and read about some of these individuals who didn't have that role model, like you said, who didn't have a rubric to follow. It was just them and their trust in themselves.
Right. They believe strong themselves. This sounds funny, but the old adage, behind every good man, there's a good woman, that went both ways, because a lot of these women were married to very forward-thinking men who supported what they did, and that really helped their cause. These women had such drive, such determination. They knew what they wanted. They knew how hard they worked. They would have to work to get there.
Sorry.
No, please. I'm sorry. Go ahead, CJ. I'm sorry.
No. I just, you made such a good point there, and I always, because I'm a big John Adams guy, and I always think the relationship that him and his wife had was just so remarkable and progressive in the 1700s. But was there a perception or maybe just kind of a stereotype that was kind of cast upon the husbands of these women that were doing incredible things? Were they kind of considered a different, a different branding or maybe a different category because, they were the supporter of their wife in a time that wasn't really heard of?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm certainly not saying that the husbands are the reason the wives made it.
Right. No, for sure.
But without question, the fact they had that, someone supporting them, someone encouraging them. And keep in mind, CJ, the era that they grew up in and lived in. Had they not had that, they might not be able to make it as far based on social norms and social expectations, because so many things were holding them back. The fact they achieved what they did is part of the remarkable story. But the idea that they had such support among family, friends, what have you, I think that's part of their story, and it helped them get to where they were, and for that we're all grateful.
Well, absolutely. And Tom, while I have you too, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about Katherine Harris before I let you go. And really, I think this would be a great one to end on.
Please do. Katherine Harris is just one of the great people you meet in the world. She is the retired director of library services at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library Museum. She has been named Springfield's Illinois Citizen of the Year. She was just named the board chair of the Looking for Lincoln Coalition. Katherine Harris is a nationally known reenactor of such luminaries as Harriet Tubman. She just exudes class. She's just one of the great people you meet in the world. She's just someone you're proud to call a friend. She's one of my reviewers on this project, and I was happy to have her again. She's reviewed a number of my projects. I'm really thrilled about that. The other people reviewing this project are April Anderson Zorn, the University Archivist at Illinois State University, as well as Dr. Natasha Casey, who is a professor of communications at Lincoln Land Community College in Springfield. I was happy to have all three of those women, and of course, it's always an honor to work with Katherine.
And Tom, before I let you go, I'm so glad you gave me some time to talk about this today and just to have this chat. But what's the best way for us to get our hands on this book? I think this would be a great Christmas present, and not even just a Christmas gift, but a gift for ourselves. I mean, to really learn a little bit more about our state's history and the people that lived in it is always a good thing.
Well, thank you. The book sells for $29.95. That includes tax and postage. I can mail it anywhere in the lower 48. You can contact me at 217-854-3010, or my email is enjoyhistorytoday, which is all one word, no dots or underscores, enjoyhistorytoday@gmail.com.
Tom Emery, thank you so much for your time as always. Always a pleasure talking to you, sir.
It's great, CJ. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. 9:37, a little bit of change. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Friday morning continues after this.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery.
We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Y'all see that? 942, welcome back. Daily Show smacking you in the face on this Friday. Did you guys see my boy Jeff Lynne ending the career at Hyde Park? That'll be a big one. They're thinking there's going to be like 90,000 people there for ELO. The show in St. Louis was awesome, don't get me wrong, but if I could get ELO at Hyde Park, I think I'd go there. Hey, wanted to touch base with you on this Friday. A couple of things that are still floating around the Riverbend today. Make sure you sign up for the Riverbender breaking news alerts so you can never miss out. There's a couple of ways you can get them, about 3, through text messaging, through the app, or through our email. Make sure you join in on that and you'll never miss out. One of the things you could have missed out on was our weekend event and go guide, where you can see all the great things that are happening in the 618 and on the Illinois side of the Metro East. But before we talk about weekend events and all that stuff in the 10 o'clock hour, I want to fill you in on the Great Rivers Choral Society. This is a great group, and they do their annual Christmas concert. The Great Rivers Choral Society, hard at work, practicing for their annual show, this year appropriately entitled Sing We Now of Christmas. Great Rivers Choral Society was founded in the fall of 2001 and is an adult chorus of mixed voices whose objective is to foster and encourage music education. And the chorus comprises about 20 to 30 volunteer artists from all age groups, walks of life, who enjoy singing and are looking for a means of expressing their vocal talents collectively. Now, there will be 3 performances for this Christmas concert. Friday, December the 13th, will be at 7 p.m. at the Upper Alton Baptist Church. Church, located at 2726 College Avenue. Saturday, December the 14th, another showing at 3 p.m. at St. Paul's Episcopal at 10 East 3rd Street in Alton. And Sunday, December the 15th at 3 p.m. at Godfrey First United Methodist Church at 1100 Airport Road in Godfrey. The chorus will hold a bake sale fundraiser immediately following the Sunday concert. Also, while we have you today, before we talk to mayoral candidate Craig Lombardi, Governor J.B. Pritzker joined the VIP construction tour of the Wedge Innovation Center designed to ignite economic opportunities and regional growth for St. Louis. We're going to play you some of that press conference now, as we were planning on doing earlier in the show. We'll do that now, as Governor Pritzker was in town yesterday, and here's what
I'll just
he
point
had
out
to say.
Many of you that I founded something just like this called 1871 in Chicago. And it's created thousands of jobs over the years. That was back in 2011 and 2012. And I get to see what the evolution looks like 12 years later, that these spaces are much nicer, much better than what we created in Chicago. And I love the idea that Alton's going to be the hub of activity for entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs, as well as offline entrepreneurs, and the university being a kind of a guiding light and
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friend.
Here we go, Godfrey. You were the first official candidates interview for Godfrey this year. We're going to get ready for
Look
it.
at that. Thank you for having me on.
You know, it's
you do a ton for it. I love it. So,
well, this is really cool. I mean, well, number one, everyone that is already burnt out of elections, one more to go. One more to go in April. Craig Lombardi, a current trustee, decided a couple of days ago to decide to run for mayor. And before we go into any of that, been very active in the community in multiple fronts with the Athletic Association, other projects. Just take us through a little bit of who Craig Lombardi is.
well, I appreciate it as always. You know, I'm probably one of the biggest fans being in media, and I love what you do. So, and John. So a little bit about Craig Lombardi. I've been in Godfrey 56 years. I was probably the luckiest guy in the world. I was raised by my mother and my brother. My brother was probably one of the greatest guys I've ever met in my life. He was kind of like my father figure, and my mother is the greatest person I've ever met in my life. She is the strongest, most faith-oriented person, and that's kind of how I feel, how I got to the place where I am. I owe everything to her. She put everything on hold for us because she raised us, and then she married Dr. Brown, who was the love of her life for 28 years until he passed. He was basically my father figure. So we grew up in Godfrey. I went to St. Ambrose, then I went to Alton High. I went to, arguably, I say it all the time, Lewis and Clark is probably one of the best community colleges
100%.
ever.
100%.
We just take it for granted. I played soccer and baseball. I had a scholarship there. Then I went to SIU. People laugh. I was an industrial engineer. I was top of my class. Couldn't find a job when I came out, and then got a job at a place called Fastenal. Ran that for 10 years. And I met a probably my rock. My wife, she is everything. Everybody probably knows her
She's
better
a rock
than anybody.
star, yeah.
She's been with Alton School District forever. She's IT. She's been doing that. She also owns Lombardi Boy Design, but she's head of Alton Athletic Department or association and just does everything. And then I had 3 great kids. But my life changed right after I left Fastenal. I fell in love with radio and media, and I got very fortunate. Kathy Hendricks, who's from Godfrey, gave me my chance, and 25 years later, that's where I'm at. So
that's incredible. Well, and I honestly, as known you as long as I have, I didn't realize you had that diverse of a background because, sometimes media people kind of start out as a weekend board op and just kind of, stay there. Do you think having the different Fastenal and the different organizations, plus just the way you grew up, do you think that kind of helped you in media? Because it's a whole different ballgame in St. Louis media.
Here's the best. I'm glad you asked that question because it is the funniest of all time. Anybody who knows me, and that's why I think I will make a great mayor, is because I am the most competitive. I have been successful in everything that I've done. Literally, when I went to get this job at media, I had to go in for 10 interviews. 10 interviews. I drove over to St. Louis.
This was in radio, was real.
And they said, no.
No way.
And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going because when I want something, I'm gonna push for it. 10th interview, Kathy Hendricks says to me, Craig, they don't want you because you don't have a marketing degree. And I walked in and I said, because I don't have a marketing degree, you don't think that I can make it? And I go, you're wrong. And why I say this is funny is because they hired me, and for 25 years straight, I don't like to always talk about myself, but I have been the top rep or one of, if not the top rep every year for 25 years. So I always make fun. I'm like, I guess I could do this. So
well,
anyway.
It's a good point on that because you know this better than I do, obviously, but media is relationships, this whole sales process. It's, 9 times out of 10 when I was in it, we didn't care who had the cheaper rate. We cared about our relationship and what that meant for the radio station I worked for at the time and then that client. Do you think that whenever, 20 years later, you've watched industry change in media like crazy from the technological advancements to the digital age and the HD channels and all of that was getting thrown in? How was it ever difficult for you to stay on the current trends with this or, and riding that wave?
I'm different in nature. Yeah. I don't ever stop. So I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to do different things. You're exactly right. This is why I love this community is because, not just because I'm on here, we talk about this a lot. Like, you're great at what you do. John's great at what he does. Actually, Nick down the street, like, we have some great local people, and that's what Alton and Godfrey is. It is great relationships, and I love that. I love that part of the media. And I deal with all business owners every day of my life. And, I can equate that to being a mayor because I go in, I get a game plan, we execute, and that's what we go forward. So anyways.
So on top of that, I mean, I remember you walking DeAdrian the first time you were running for office as trustee. And, it seemed like you were off to a great start with your petitions. What led up to, saying it's time to maybe pursue that big seat. It's time to pursue that mayoral seat. Was there a conversation you had with yourself or was it with family? Honestly,
I love that. Hopefully I don't go on too long with this, but there is a story to it. I love and respect Ben Allen. I've always been fascinated. He kind of built Grafton. I mean,
kind of, yeah.
And so we would talk, and he said, "Hey, Craig, if you're really interested, you got to go to these meetings." So for a year, I went to all the trustee or the board meetings for a year. I wasn't a trustee at the time, and I was really interested. They had great conversations. This is when they had Virginia Biley and Ben Allen also on there with the current. And I said I would really like to do it. I became a trustee, and I love it. We have Mike Fisher, Sarah Woodman, Karen McAtee, Rick Lauschke's great. But I honestly was the most fortunate because I had a guy named Jeff Weber who sat next to me, and I learned a ton. He is probably one of the smartest. So going to that, I was like, I think Godfrey needs a fresh new perspective. I think it needs a game plan. And that's where I kind of came to that conclusion. I said, I think I can do a lot for this community of what I do and for Godfrey. And, people say, you have to have growth to keep the younger families here, CJ. Like, and yeah, go ahead.
So I want to pause that real quick because that's where I wanted this second half of the conversation to go. And the reason being is there's so many things happening in this region, and I've had Corey on from Great Rivers and Routes and all these places, Woods River, Main Street, and we're talking about big things in sports tourism, what AI is doing now, and all of these opportunities. I want to hear your insights on that and a little bit more about the campaign. But it's 10 o'clock in downtown Alton. We'll break for top of the hour. More Daily Show after this.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 10:03. Man, this week flew by. It's wild that we're already getting into Christmas time, Craig.
It is Christmas time.
So
it's always crazy.
I brought up sports tourism because it's really been a big topic on the show lately, and everyone kind of gets annoyed with me when I keep talking about the potential of revenue from these soccer tournaments that you and I have spent 10, 15 years traveling the country with Gallagher and all these places and seeing the impact. Baseball tournaments, volleyball, pickleball, all those things. Is there in your mind, do you think that there's a way to build off of this growth, especially with Godfrey? I mean, seeing Glazebrook develop the way it has and really encapsulate that sports portion of the village, that's really good to see too.
Well, you know my background, huge sports. But it's not always just about me. It's about the people of Godfrey. Right. So if they're not looking into that, but I do know that's a very hot topic. We can get into in a minute why I wanted to become mayor, but you have to have these relationships. I kind of gotten I think Corey Jobe is one that you always have to have a conversation with. John Keller, of course. But like Corey Jobe and Lewis and Clark, Dr. T, I got a meeting with these guys originally at the very beginning to start talking about the sports tourism. Now, does that mean, what does it look like? But this is what I'm talking about, of what I can do, and hopefully, because Corey and Dr. T and these relationships are what's going to bring Godfrey further in progress, different things of that nature. So I do think that that's on an initiative to look as far as growing Godfrey, but that comes with a lot of other things that come with it, like comprehensive plan and different things like that.
So with that being said, too, getting back into just Lewis and Clark a little bit, that's always kind of a talking point, not for the good, for the bad. Lewis and Clark, I think, gets underrated so many times because anyone that's gone to Lewis and Clark and seen the benefits know that you could save a ton of money and get a really good jump on your education. Do you think if you are elected in April, what's that relationship look like with you and Lewis and Clark to maybe make it a little, make it more beneficial for everybody involved? Because there are a couple of facilities that are getting upgrades, what that tax revenue does to the economy, all of that good stuff.
Well, again, a lot of this is relationships, and you have to have these conversations. So, I have a great relationship with Dr. T over there. I call him Dr. T all the time, but and Lori, there are a lot that you can work with at Lewis and Clark to have these conversations, because it is it's a big part of Godfrey, and there might be grants available. You have no idea, but you have to have these conversations, but not just with them. It brings me back to the point of why I'm doing this. I think Godfrey needs growth, and I think it needs a fresh new set of eyes, and that is the most cliche or just broad text. And so people ask me, they're like, well, what does that even mean, Craig? What's your plan? And I would say this. First things first is you have a lot of smart leaders in this community you have to be talking to.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, Jeff Weber, Ben Allen, you have John Keller, you have, Corey Jobe. More importantly is you need to work with Alton.
Thank you.
Alton is your...
I never agree with candidates,
here's
but
the deal
right,
is that is a huge thing that I think we're missing. But here's the thing. That does not mean Godfrey and Alton are together. Godfrey needs its own identity.
Yeah.
We are not going to be Alton, but you have to have these conversations, CJ. So first of all is we have these conversations with these relationships. Second of all, then you take these conversations, you make a comprehensive plan. We say right now we have a comprehensive plan. It's more of a wish list to me. And what I mean by that is you have to have action steps and execution. What are we going to be like in six months, a year, 5 years, and 10 years? Because if you don't have that, you cannot get businesses.
I want to follow up on that because that's a good point. And I'm going to ask that to every candidate. And people, I'm going to break the fourth wall here, but when we do candidate interviews, everyone gets the same amount of time, and I ask the same general questions because that's how I feel like my bias. I'm never going to have my thoughts come out here, but I think the problem and people get so mad at me in Edwards Opie as I say this, they grew too fast and they did not grow the right way. There is corporations there are franchises, and it's great to look at, but it's not really the best case forward. And that's not just me. That's economists that look at that and go, it's the rents from where people were at 10 years ago to now. It's not sustainable for small business owners, only for franchises. There's some things going on there. How important is it to not just say, look at Edwardsville and look at these towns and go, well, we don't want to do that, but maybe take what they did to develop as quickly as they did, but do it in a way that's more of a responsible and not just a sprawled out, let's build where we can build and build with organization,
Well, I love that because when people hear growth, sometimes they go like this. They get scared. They're like, 100%. We don't want to grow too much. We don't want to be like Edwardsville. Listen, I don't want to be like that. What I do want, though, you have to have growth. You have to have these young families coming in. I just was at Rotary. I look like, sorry if I look like stuff, but I was just building, doing the trees out there, which Rotary is a phenomenal organization. And it's getting older. How do you get the younger people in there? But anyways, it goes back to my, go ahead.
No. I want to follow, but it goes back to younger people, but you're right.
But here's the thing with my answer to that is you have to have a plan, CJ, and for Godfrey. And then you have to follow up with that. You have to work with the economic team. Mm-hmm. You have to work with the trustees. We have great trustees. We have to form this and say, what do we want in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. But here's the deal. If you don't have that, businesses are just going to be like, okay, what can you offer me? You have to court them. Yeah. I do that every day of my life. You have to show people why Godfrey is the best for their business. Doesn't mean retail always. Doesn't mean industrial. Could be housing, but we have to have that picture.
2 follow-ups to that, because that's a good. You brought up Alton and having a working relationship.
Yep.
And I think my follow-up to that is simple. Sometimes people, and we see it here because there's no other clearer form than feedback than our Facebook comment lines sometimes on stories. And, sometimes it seems like cities do a really good job of bringing business in, but not a diverse set of businesses. So, you'll see, well, why are we getting another X, Y, and Z restaurant here? Why are we getting another, Applebee's when we already have 3 Applebee's in the area? Do you think there's a way for cities like Alton and Godfrey to work together and say, hey, we have a business coming in. We have 15 Mexican restaurants. I don't think it'll work on this corridor, but do you have a space for them that you could really make them successful? Do you think that would help a relationship for the region? Or do you think it's more beneficial to kind of isolate that and say, no, we'll work with this business first?
You have to have those conversations. Those are hard conversations, but you have to have them. We don't have them. You have to listen. We have in Godfrey, you've got White Birch. You have Josephine's, 2 of the greatest places. I mean, those are awesome places. You have Baker and Hale, Roper's, Ranch House. You have some of the greatest places, but you have to be strategic on what do you think that we need? And we have conversations. Everything is conversations. So to answer that question, CJ, yes, you have to be talking. Does that mean that if a good hotel wants to come up here and they want to go in Alton, sometimes we may say, well, we would like that one. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Totally. That's what it's about.
We are still Godfrey, and I will still be Godfrey. But you have to have conversations. Yeah. I mean, look what they're doing. You can not like them or you like them. Alton Works is trying to do different things, and people are trying to do different things in Alton. I just think that I think we need to have growth in Godfrey, and that means a plan.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean just throwing it out there and anyway.
And following up on that too, it's part 2 of that was Godfrey's different than Alton in a geographical sense, because you have these beautiful suburban suburbs that are built, these nice complexes and nice areas and neighborhoods, and then you have a very rural section of Godfrey that it's not like those houses are bad or anything, but just infrastructure starts to get a little weaker as you get into those not unincorporated but more rural areas, and transportation for medical issues, survival flight, EMS, those things start to get a little bit hindered in delays and timing. Is there a way, and this is so early, but do you think there's a way to connect more of those residential areas to make it, where you can grow and not just be, Airport Road subdivision 10 miles down the road, and then you got to drive 5 miles into town? Do you see developments like that happening in rural areas of Godfrey?
Well, again, it all comes down to this. It's what the people want.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Fair. So very fair.
Godfrey, it's what people want. I do think that's hugely, very important. It's not about me. Right. This is about everybody. And I believe the trustees, we have great trustees that think the same way, and we've always had great trustees. But here's the thing. You have to get a professional, comprehensive plan in there. That's why I thought PGAV would be a great one. They've done great things. So you need a professional plan. But then the key is follow up and making plans going down in the future, because Godfrey is different than Alton. But how do you see it? And things change. I get it. But that's where if your eyeballs are on this all the time, then you can make those changes. So, that's what I'm really good at is, if you ask me what my vision is, I certainly have a vision of it, but I'm not a professional at this. we will have conversation with this comprehensive company, but you need to get that. And then you need to take action steps and move forward with it.
One of the another hot topic right now in Godfrey is the road developments. You know, there's the roundabout that's getting ready to be put in, and we don't have to talk about who's in favor of what. But do you see more of those projects as a foreseeable thing, or is this going to be one of those going back to that comprehensive plan? Let's get a plan in place and let's see where we need improvements. Do you think those roundabouts were a good idea? That development's a good thing for Godfrey?
Well, that's a difficult one for me because I get it. No,
it is a tough
Well, I was
question.
never involved in that. I will. The only thing I will say this is, I understand both sides because it can get crazy there. But I will also say this: I live right there, so I'm going there probably 10 times a day. I never have a long wait at all. But I will say this to the whole situation is, if it could save one life, because I will tell you, that light, I have never seen more people run through that red light every day. I almost saw somebody die a month ago because they fly through that light. So if the roundabout is maybe going to help save one person, again, I get where people are coming from. But, that's an IDOT initiative. Right. So you sometimes have to play that game to have them continue to work with you in the future. People need to understand that also. Like, you have to work with the state because you're going to want something one of these days, and they're going to, you have to. Well, that was my
conversation with the village a couple of years ago. Was that very same thing? Is I get it, because if you say no to this money, then when are you going to get that opportunity again? So it's a give and take there. Whenever we're talking about IDOT and we're talking about these roads, I think it's really important for that speeding conversation, because I have gone absolutely ballistic on this show numerous times about what I think is just not only reckless driving, I think it's criminal behavior.
Yep.
Do you think, and we drive West Del Mar, I drive it all the time, and we might see a cop patrolling there, but very rarely have I ever seen that police officer pull somebody over and issue a speeding ticket. Do you think there's got to be more pressure, not on cops to do, pull speeders over, but just to be more active in those sectors? Because you see this tens of thousands of dollars being spent on speed limit signs, which are needed, but if no one's getting pulled over, they're just signs.
I would probably address that. Well, I would always address it, just so you know. People also ask me, they're like, hey, what do you... As a trustee, I'm very hands-on right now. So I'm going to places all the time. And so I will take this into consideration. I didn't know that they weren't, they weren't looking as much as grabbing these people. I do know that they do access. I live on Pierce. They fly around there. It's crazy to see that. But,
and I don't want to put you on the spot with that, but it's just one of those things where you do have such a pulse there. I figured, let's ask you about it now and just get your insights on it.
I do know that Madison County does a great job for us. So I'm not. No. And I wasn't doing that at all. They do a great job. But here's the deal. Those are conversations, CJ. If we're not having conversations, so maybe you talk to Sergeant Weller and we say, hey, guess what? Maybe can we take a look at this? I'm sure that they will do that.
Right.
And again, being a mayor, if I'm fortunate enough and the citizens are kind enough to give me this opportunity, I do listen to everyone. And the great part about me is, I'm always open-minded. I have views on a lot of different things, but listen, I love information all the time.
Well, and I really appreciate it because, and honestly, I don't really get that too pointed on questions, but it's really good to know that, hey, I didn't send you a list of questions ahead of time and say, here's what I'm asking you.
Yep.
I think that's how we really get to know you as a candidate. We've been talking for about 40 minutes. What's the best way for, and it's good because you set the tone, so that means every other candidate gets 40 minutes. You have set the pace now, Craig Lombardi.
You talk for hours with you, but
what's the best way for folks to learn more about who you are, your platform, and just get to know you?
Well, that's a great question. I should have been prepared more with that. I am going to probably have a Facebook page coming out here to learn more about me. I do not have that out there just now. This is probably my first way of
You
getting
heard
out
it here
to know.
first.
There you go.
That's
so,
right.
But I will probably have a Facebook page, and we'll go through the stages of that. So I do not have that currently.
Well, we have some time. we
have some time.
Not a lot, but we have some time.
Yeah.
Mr. Lombardi, always great talking to you.
Yeah, I love it, CJ.
As
Thank
the
you.
campaign keeps trickling along, the platform's always open to get the word out, and thanks for your time again.
You're awesome. Appreciate you, buddy.
No problem.
Thanks,
the
CJ.
time is 10:20. A little bit of change on this Friday morning. We'll take a quick break, and Stephanie Schraggy's got some explaining to do. She missed our interview on Tuesday, or was it Wednesday? Hell, I don't know. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back, talk for a little bit, and then Stephanie will join us at 10:30.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
(10:27). Welcome back. Quiet all of a sudden. It's only when I'm talking about somebody. Stephanie. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning.
How was your ribbon cutting?
It was fantastic.
Sydney said it was good.
Yeah.
She said she got some good photos.
She did.
Is it this week or next week?
Next week. Actually, we kick it off on Sunday, right?
Okay.
So we kick it off on Sunday as National
A true believer to the week.
Absolutely.
Sunday starts the week. There you go.
PR and media, we run on a schedule. You know this.
Judging the St. Louis media talent yesterday, I highly doubt it. Getting...
That's not us locals.
No, we actually know what we're doing. Getting back into Challenge Unlimited, I think it's so cool to see the growth. And we were talking about the new square foot, 1,100 square foot facility addition, but seeing just the cool thing of it was the reception, because administrators and the folks wearing the sports jackets can be as happy as they want, but if the people that live there and are going to use it aren't happy, then what the hell's the point of the project?
Absolutely.
Everyone, from what I talked to with Sydney and reading the article, the residents literally love it.
Yeah. It's almost like we're supposed to be graduating them out of the program, but we've made it like it a little too much, but that's a good thing. It's they're comfortable. They're happy. It was great to hear that.
Well, it really, and it's great to see it too. And so what I think is really cool too, is this is a great conversation to kind of go a little bit behind the shelves a little bit about what Challenge Unlimited does, and especially when it comes to workforce development. You were just talking about a graduating class of 38.
Yeah, we've got, with National Apprentice Week, this is great to be here to talk about all these things. We've got a lot going on. The square foot, the addition, I guess, let's go back a little bit. The behind the curtain piece, right?
Oh, yeah, please. Sorry, I forgot my first question.
I want to be sure to answer everything for your listeners.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, an audience. But yeah, so as far as the behind the curtain piece, that's why that opening was so great yesterday, because we don't often get to invite people into group homes.
True.
That is something that is a very rare occurrence, because obviously these are people's homes and they live there.
Yeah.
You know, you can't bring 20 guests in unannounced or, on a whim. It messes with their day. It messes with their schedules. So, the fact that we had the opportunity with this edition to be able to invite the public in, the residents could talk to them directly. We had the alderwoman there from Edwardsville for that ward. So she was more than supportive of the work we do, which is also really important when you talk about group homes.
Really cool. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
And to have that bureaucratic support too is really good, because, and not just the sense of grants, but I'm talking real change, like lobbying for bills and really making sure you can protect your constituents at every degree.
Exactly. The state limits funding, but if we can fight against that, so, but no, I have no complaints about the funding source. This time they were amazing. It was an awesome opportunity. I'm grateful we got to take advantage of it and that we had the team and the staff to be able to put it together.
Take me through the build.
Well, it's kind of a new program as far as the funding.
Okay.
That's part of why I think it was a really short-term application. I know a lot of nonprofits are aware of this. You find out about it, and then 30 days later, you better have an entire proposal ready, to respond to it. So, there was a lot of team members who had their hands in this process. But, basically what we were kind of told was, we really want you guys to utilize this well, because that's how we can keep that funding coming.
That's so cool.
That was part of the reason why we held the open house, and a lot of people, I think group homes have kind of a misconception.
I didn't want to say it,
Yeah.
but that's why I was so glad to talk about this today, because group homes to me were almost considered what I call an untouchable on the radio, where when I started media 7 years ago, untouchables were abortion, guns, and politics. I talk about those literally all the time. It's just how you talk about it. And I think that it wasn't an unforgivable, or wasn't, the group home wasn't, but it was one of those where you kind of did this, and not you, but as society members, we did this for a long time, where it was just drive by it.
Right.
Drive by it. And when you go to these group homes, some of them around are amazing, and seeing some of these programs in action, I think just that, even though it can ruin the cycle and routine of the individuals there, it's so beneficial, I think, for the public to know what a group home actually is, because there's so many misconceptions.
There are. And, with I'm biased, of course.
No.
But, I personally tend to believe that our group homes, being that they're in the community, they're living with their neighbors just like all the rest of us do. It's not a segregated kind of situation, which was the traditional kind of model for these places.
Yeah.
So, the other thing is when people can come in and see this is a home.
That's a good point.
Everybody has their own bedroom. They all have their own spaces. There are communal places for them to gather. Everything is clean and fresh and feels good, And I think we often associate like a more institutional setting with something like that. And that's not what we foster at Challenge.
Well, and I think, too, that preconceived notions of how things used to be are imprinted in the minds of so many people that they just don't understand that good change has happened in these group homes, because 30, 40 years ago,
there were problems.
10 times different conversation you and I'd be having.
Absolutely. And not to mention the caregivers.
Oh, God, yeah.
They're amazing. It's just, like I've said, I know I've said this before, but we've got, some caregivers who've been with us for 30 plus years. They are just as much family to these residents as their family are.
Well, and I want to go, I'm sure, and I've talked to caregivers before where you don't know obviously I'm not going to know that caregiver's backstory or who they are, what made them who they are. But I've talked to caregivers that really have lost their family, and they use, like, not saying Challenge Unlimited, but other caregiving functionalities, not with Challenge, but through nursing homes and assisted living, that brings them that sense of family. So it's not just the resident that's getting the care, it's that individual that's getting something that they missed and they
build
long
a
for.
relationship
You know what I'm saying?
with the
It's
people
so
they care for.
cool.
They really do.
It's so symbiotic.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. The relationships that are built, it's just like I say, it was amazing yesterday. Even we had some of the residents from other homes that wanted to come
really
and see
cool.
it.
Yeah.
So, some of the DSPs brought their individuals that they care for so that they could see the new remodel. And, we had an individual who actually had lived in that home for quite a long time, like 13 years approximately or something like that. And he's since moved out on his own. He's completely independent, but he wanted to come to that ribbon cutting. He wanted to see the remodel on the house he lived in and what we were doing. And, so it's just, like you say, it continues even beyond. I say we're family, and I know that sounds cheesy, but.
Well, no, it's cheesy because corporations have taken that and ran with it, but you guys actually are a family. I mean, you can't do what you're doing at Challenge with being a corporation. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have a CEO and a bunch of grunt workers that punch the clock and call it a day. You have to have people that don't think about numbers, they think about the patient, not the job. You know what I'm saying? I think that's so important.
Absolutely.
So with National Apprenticeship Week, 38 graduates, back to my second
34,
part.
34 this year.
Damn it.
Hey, we're all over the place, and it's a Friday.
I was like, the entire time you were just talking, I'm like, what was the first question or the second question that I asked? And I finally remembered it, and I got the number wrong.
It's
34 recent graduates. But what does that mean for the community? What's that mean for the region to see graduates like this and programs like this to help further economic boost?
Well, you brought up the media yesterday. We are one of the few apprenticeship programs in the state of Illinois. And not only that, but we can offer these programs across all of our operation sites.
Yeah.
So those graduates aren't just from here. Many of them are, it's Jackson, Mississippi graduates. It's Great Lakes Naval Base graduates. It's, we've got multiple sites all over the country that they can qualify for this program. It's approximately, we call it an earn while you learn kind of system. So it's 2,000 hours of on-the-job training and then 144 hours of kind of online classroom work to help support
What's the duration of that program last? How long does it take?
There isn't a time limit per se, but, ideally we like the program to be completed within a year, if possible. Typically, that's how quickly they do it.
I'm not being funny with this, and I mean that. I know it's Friday, and I was being goofy earlier, but you just threw out some very large numbers.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no way I'd get completed. There's no way. I mean, honestly, you have to want to do this if you're in the program. I wanted to kind of drive that point. This is not just like some go have fun. This is a real program.
It absolutely is. And I think that there's a benefit. We're seeing a lot of, shifts from traditional education.
Oh,
where
tons.
Many people just don't want to go the college route. They don't want the student loan debt. They
well,
don't
in
want
vocation school, the term's changing because vocation's not just welding no more.
Oh, no. You're right.
It's
You're
like
absolutely
amazing.
right. And, currently we're doing it with janitorial and custodial work and then groundskeepers. But we're hoping to expand that program within the next few years into IT training. I know we've kind of touched on this before.
It's there. There is no doubt about it. That is where that needs to drive to.
Right. So,
because anyone. I mean, think about this. How many small business owners personally with your other stuff that you do that needs someone that could literally manage, and you need somebody that's attentive. You cannot have a CJ Nasello running your damn IT. No, you can't, because I am very passionate for 15 minutes until someone calls me and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, and I go over here.
Squirrel.
Can't do it. Shoot, you kidding me? I mean, to have somebody that really is structured in a way to excel, and not only excel for themselves, but excel for the business. I think that is such a nuanced approach, because 50 years ago it was, we'll throw the individual that has autism in the back to sweep, because let's just be real here.
Yeah.
And now we're at this point because of the work that Challenge does and other organizations to where they're not a second thought. That individual is literally a valued member of any department,
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some success stories, like I've said before. The success stories just really get me, because when you hear the guy with the college degree, speaking of Mississippi, the individual that works there had a college diploma and could not find a job.
Wow.
Because of some learning disabilities and things like that. But he was able to graduate college. So obviously he's proven himself. So, he gets into our team, and he's now a team lead and has graduated the program, and he's advocated in DC for the program and for individuals like him. So, I mean, it's great to see the success of these people, really.
Do you think technology helps your cause in this? Because I don't want to say it's like a vicariously living, but whenever individuals in Challenge can see, maybe news or information about folks like them that are making change, does that help?
It's been a huge... my CEO will tell you, we've had this conversation numerous times. The technology upgrades that we've put in place since I've started have just grown us exponentially as far as the people that reach out to it. You know, how do people find out about things anymore? It's tech.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're reading the paper. No offense to the papers, but they just don't get the traction.
Man, that's normally my job. That is normally I'm in a good mood. I have been a good boy all day.
Well, you know, it's the truth. It's the truth.
I love it, Stephanie.
You know,
well, getting back into this too, I think it's so important because I wanted to, before we go into Apprentice Week, going back to that caregiver relationship that they have with that individual. I think that working at Challenge, and you know this just from your experience 10 times better than I do, you almost come to a sense where you need them more than they need you. You know what I'm saying with that caregiver? Because I've seen how they operate, your caregivers, and it's really where it's like they're so invested into that person, whether it's, you know, in a group home setting or in a different setting. I mean, you can't put a price tag on that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I told yesterday when Sydney was at the event, I said, you know, it's our team at Residential Options made that event happen yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it afterwards, the amount of extra hours that they were willing to put in just to ensure that everything looked good. Everybody was, you know, prepared. And because again, the individuals that were speaking, they had speeches ready and, you know, got up and told their story. And that can be intimidating for anybody, but let alone somebody when all these people are coming into your home and it's, you know, a little different. So it's great.
You got a moment to stick around?
Team. Sure.
Take a quick break, 10:40, a little bit of change. Our last break on this Friday belongs to, well, we'll find out during this break. Belongs to Gerard.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. Which is good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Once in a million years, a lady like a horizon. You ran and you cried, but she's gone in your life. Knows no answer. Then your life knows no answer.
10:43, welcome back. Daily Show hitting you on a Friday. Stephanie back in studio. Alrighty. Back to this. So, National Apprenticeship Week.
Yes.
What is Challenge Unlimited doing to?
Well, we're going to be featuring stories, as always, of successful individuals. We've got some other media planned as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are going to do an online graduation. We kind of went with a smaller model for it this year. The problem we run into is because we're all across the country, there's not an in-person event is kind of difficult to arrange.
Yeah.
So, we're going to try to feature these individuals and do kind of an online, like you said, tech has been our friend because we can make it happen much easier without the logistic problem.
That's really cool. So how can we follow along and kind of learn about the apprentices this next couple of weeks?
Well, I'm always going to say follow us on our social
there you
media
go.
pages. We definitely are good about posting things there. Our blog, we've got a newsletter sign up on our website. I encourage people to do that as well, cuinc.org.
Good website.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
But it is a great website, and it's been phenomenal for us because the simplified information has really gotten us a lot better understanding, I think, from the public on what we do. I would say follow those things. We will release the video on Thursday.
Oh, cool.
So teaser on that. Thursday evening, likely. You'll get to see, at least names of all the graduates will be announced, a little bit more about the program. We're trying to keep it short format because that's how people are these days. Nobody wants to watch a 15-minute, spiel about what we do. They'd rather see the people, get the recognition, and then they'll follow us for the stories if they want the details. So,
you're right. Now, what are the residents' thoughts about and the individuals in the program thoughts about this week?
I think that we've gotten more than positive responses from the community, especially with the plans to expand. The way we've expanded all of our other programming,
for sure.
I think everybody kind of foresees that this will be something we're going to be able to offer, not just through our operations teams, because that's kind of how we've done it before. Since we staff those government contracts, it's real easy to get somebody hired and offer them, by the way, this program's available.
Right.
But as we expand and grow, we're looking at ways that those apprenticeships can be kind of integrated into our employment services programs. And, again, I know I've mentioned before, we're working with some of the restaurants and nonprofits in the area. So places and local businesses and ways that we can maybe partner with, even Madison County Training and Development.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're working on trying to build that relationship, too.
Really cool.
So.
Well, and now with this new AI craze, too, I feel like that can really help so much for your residents, because a lot of it, is tasks that really do need like data and prompting and input and collection. All AI is just data.
Oh, I know it.
I think that's a really good thing to look at too.
Absolutely.
Are you?
From that IT side, I think that's going to be
that's
huge.
what I was kind of tying in there too.
That's going to be huge for us.
What does the admin team do whenever, because there's so many appreciation weeks throughout the year that, and you guys do a really good job of making sure that you are honoring all of them. Like, seriously,
we try to stay on top of it.
No, you guys are seriously, I've had so many organizations on, we celebrate weeks and months every once in a while, but you guys really make it a point to live by that, and I think you need to with what your mission is, because those weeks are set up to really dive into that kind of mission statement of Challenge Unlimited.
I think that really speaks to our grassroots advocacy efforts. I think that's part of kind of how we've tied all of these things in, because those awareness days, we often have something will come up where there's a bill or a legislation that we need to push through our audience to help gain support. And these weeks give us that opportunity to really tie in. This is what we do. This is why it's relevant to this week. And then these are the upcoming things that you can do to support. You know what I mean?
True.
We're also starting to kind of look into year-end fundraising, just like every other nonprofit.
Oh, yeah, we are at that time of the year.
I know. I know, and I had to plug it because, there are ways to give. So individuals who want to support these kind of programs and the work that we do, it's really easy to go to our website and just, contribute. And if you can't, I always say if you can't give money, you can always give time.
That's true.
So we certainly, we're starting to get more into the community. Our individuals volunteer, but now we want the community to come in and volunteer with us.
That's true.
So it's great.
Well, and it's one of those things. Remember, Challenge Unlimited 501c3, so you can get some tax deductions on that before before quarter four ends, and get all your good stuff turned in before April. So why not make one big one, and deduct it all and call it a day?
Keeps it easy.
With Apprentice Week, let's say someone's watching this right now that's a business owner, factory owner, a coalition owner that has, development plots that have tons of warehouses and jobs. How do people have the conversation with Challenge that say, hey, let's just see if we're a good fit?
I would say for those type of partnerships, the best bet is either to reach out to our programs department.
Okay.
John Becker's been on here with me before. He's our VP of programs.
Good guy. Does a very good job.
Start with Mr. Becker.
Now, where's that $20? No.
Start with him. Another option is, if you're looking large scale, like there's a serious staffing issue and, you've got a production line that you can't have production line shut down. And if you need people to
Not
fill
right
them,
now.
our business development team is amazing at finding ways to fill those positions and work on contingent staffing basis, until they can figure what is because other organizations have done this too. Apprenticeships kind of develop as the need happens and the individuals show up and the business has a need. So, I think that there's so much room to grow this through our operations and business development teams and then programming on the other side of
It's
it.
incredible. Stephanie, what have we not talked about yet?
I got a new puppy.
I saw that actually. Jill posted a picture of all people.
She did. Yeah,
now,
she did.
I am curious about this puppy now because I was going to comment, but I'm not a Facebook guy no more. So was it Jill's dog first?
No. He was. It was a friend of Jill's that.
And now it's yours.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ace.
Ace.
Mm-hmm.
How's the addition?
He's wonderful. I should be talking work, but I just couldn't help. You said anything else, and I had to say, I got a new puppy.
Is there any individual that you guys are highlighting this week that you want to talk about, or
we're still kind of working through
the
stories.
I get it. There's
honest.
so many. It's not.
There really is,
not,
and again with the logistics,
yeah,
it's difficult sometimes.
Well, it's not fair for me to put you on the spotlight. Being serious, not being funny, because there are seriously so many individuals that you're going through and all that. So I get
there
it.
are, but I will say that I've just been kind of reviewing the numbers. This is what I started with to see what have we, because again, I've only been with the organization for 2 years, but this program launched in 2019. So as I was kind of digging through the information and the data, we've graduated. After this year, we'll have graduated over 150 people from this program. And the fact that we launched it right before COVID and it was still successful,
it's incredible.
And it kind of speaks to the janitorial apprenticeships. Those were essential jobs all through COVID, so they were still able to get those hours. And it didn't slow us down at all.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
All right, before I let you go, my St. Louis media question. When do you think we're going to be able to visit Mars? Sorry, I just thought I'd ask something completely off topic of why we're here to see if maybe they'd hire me. Jesus. 10:51, little bit of change. A quick break. We'll wrap up Friday after this.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Lennox.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
I'm a dinosaur. I should have died out a long time before.
Oh, man!
Have pity on a dinosaur.
Gosh dang it. Hold on, I dropped my headphones.
Hand me my hat.
Excuse me, man. Let me put my headphones on. Daily Show smacking you in the face for the last time this week. Think I was out of here. Hey, we had a great show. We had a busy week of shows. This was a good week. You can stay up to date on, we've had about 590 shows so far since I've been at RiverBender.com. 590 shows are on demand. I challenge you to go back to 2022 and take a gander. See how far we've come. Let's see if there's anything else to talk about before I send you off into the weekend. And here we go. Today, Ray Strabel, the alderman of the 3rd Ward. Let me switch this so we're going to make this official. We have a breaking news development. Stand by. The 2025 consolidated election is shaping up all across the Riverbend region and in the city of Alton. The 3rd Ward alderman, who has been rumored all summer long to be announcing his candidacy with campaign fundraisers and more. Today, Ray Strabel formally announced his campaign for mayor of Alton. Ray Strabel is a 3rd-generation resident, 3rd Ward alderman, and local small business owner who is running to end business as usual and return prosperity and opportunity to residents. Strabel said he is focused on investing in infrastructure that makes Alton safer, restoring fiscal responsibility, protect taxpayer costs, and growing the community to improving quality of life. From day one since he was elected alderman, Strabel set out to enhance Alton's infrastructure, boost economic development, and ensure government transparency. He has a proven record of advocating for Alton taxpayers. He has worked to repair the lighting on Clark Bridge, established a partnership with Madison County Transit to enhance recreational opportunities, and spearheaded a comprehensive pavement management plan for Alton. For 20 years, Strabel has been a dedicated small business owner, focusing on restoring homes exclusively in Alton. He served on many local boards and coached youth sports. Now he sits on the Riverfront Commission and serves as Alton Township trustee. We'll keep you updated as we gear up for 2025, but as you heard here for the first time, Alderman for the 3rd Ward, Ray Strable, has formally announced his candidacy for Alton Mayor. This has been after a couple of campaign meet and greets opportunities, now officially making that decision. Ray Strable, the 3rd Ward Alderman, running for mayor in 2025. Just want to make sure everyone does know we have offers sent out to all of the prospective candidates in the 2025 race for the city of Alton. Every mayoral candidate has an open invite to come on the show, and it's a great way for us to get to learn the candidate. I'm so tired of national and regional news. I'm about ready to explode because they try to tell you their opinion in the questions they ask, where they go, they'll ask a question and go, and really be a rant, though, go, 2 years ago, the street was paved and it wasn't, and there was a big hole and my tire exploded. How do you feel? Those questions. I'm tired of them. The show's about a platform. It's a platform to get to know local and regional and sometimes national people in a different way, not the gotcha way. That way's done. That's why AM radio and FM radio are taking the beating they're taking. It's over. It's time to have these conversations to where we just get to know and we get informed. And that's why I'm so excited to have these candidates on as 2025 approaches. But I'm out of time, and I'll see you back here live at 9 for more of our daily show on Monday. So until then, enjoy your day. Enjoy your family. Go have fun this weekend. But most importantly, try your best to stay out of jail.